Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about coming up with the main message for your oral presentation. Now, if you've ever listened to any oral presentation and at the end of it you thought, what was that really about? It could be because the main message wasn't clear. In other words, you didn't know what the thesis was or the central point was. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to create the main message, the central idea, or the thesis statement. Now, once you've chosen your topic, and I have quite a few videos like this one here, and this one here, and who knows, maybe another one here, but I've given you enough information so that you know how to choose a topic that works, a topic that's personal, a topic that's novel and challenging. Once you've decided on the topic that you want, then you have to then decide on the actual message, because the topic can be broad and you cannot talk about everything, especially if you only have 5 to 7 minutes. But once you've come up with your topic, the next thing you need to do before you start writing the speech, following the guidelines in this video, you must first come up with your thesis statement. And that's what I'm going to show you today, how to come up with your thesis statement. Okay, so when we're talking about the thesis statement, we're talking about that sentence that you can find at the end of the introduction of an essay or of a speech or an oral presentation. It's the sentence that gives the speaker's opinion, or it states an important idea. So if you're going to be given an oral presentation, you must have a thesis statement. You cannot speak about a topic without having an opinion about the topic. So if anyone were to ask you how to come up with a thesis statement, you could tell them that this is the formula. Topic plus opinion equals thesis statement. So for example, Vancouver is the best place to live in Canada. That's my opinion. But that would be a thesis statement because it has the two things that you need. It has the topic and it has the opinion. The topic is Vancouver, and my opinion is that it's the best place to live in Canada. Or if I were to say something like, social media is the best thing that has ever happened to the world. Once again, I have a topic, social media, and I'm saying that it's the best thing that has ever happened to the world. That's my opinion. Okay, it's just a sentence. Now, another thing to note is that it should not be a fact. A thesis statement is not a fact. So if I were to say Vancouver is one of the provinces in Canada, that is a fact. So that's not a thesis statement. And if I were to say it rains often in Vancouver, we all know that that's a fact. But that is not a thesis statement because it's not an opinion. It's a fact. Another example is the Prime Minister of Canada is Justin Trudeau. That is a fact. So it's not a thesis statement. Okay? On the third thing to know is that a thesis statement should not state two sides of an argument equally. You have to have an opinion. So if you were to say something like, there are many advantages and disadvantages to attending college right after finishing high school, you haven't told us what you thought. You are saying that there are advantages and disadvantages. You have to have an opinion. But you could change this and you could make You could say, although there are some advantages, attending college right after finishing high school has several disadvantages. That's what my son told me. So I'm just telling you what he told me. But that could be a thesis statement. Now, this sentence is a complex sentence. And I usually try to tell students to stay away from the complex sentences for the oral presentation, because you end up with a lot of information that really needs to be addressed, if not with the same equal weighting, but you still have to address the first part that says, although there are some advantages. Now, when you have 5 minutes, you want to try to stick to simple sentences. So this is a complex sentence. Now, there's a video that I did where I talk about the 4 types of sentence structures. And it's good, especially when you're writing and even when you're speaking, to use a variety of sentence types. You know, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, compound complex sentence. That's great to use in various parts of your essay, your speech, or your business documents like your memos and your letters. That's good. But for a speech, it's really better to stick to the simple sentences, because you can do greater depth of discussion when the sentence is simple. Now, if you want to develop your thesis statement, and if you want to be sure that you've come up with a thesis statement, it's a good idea to say the words, I think that. Say them, don't write them. Say them to yourself when you are planning. I think that. That way you'll be sure to express an opinion. And a lot of times I hear speeches and it sounds like what is on Wikipedia. It sounds like something you could find anywhere, but it doesn't give an opinion. It gives facts, it gives information, but there's no opinion. So if you want to ensure that you really have an opinion and that you cite your opinion, say, I think that. So for example, I think that every child should be taught how to be resilient. Now you remember my student who spoke about resilience in this video. Now, resilience is a broad topic, and there are many things you could say about resilience. And one of them is every child should be taught how to be resilient. That's an opinion, okay? Another opinion is, I think that resilience is one of the most important skills that we should have. Once again, an opinion. Another one is, I think that, cross it out, resilience is the key to a life without suffering. An opinion. That's not a fact. That's an opinion. And another one could be, I think that the need for resilience is overstated. So say to yourself, I think that, and then whatever else you say after that should be a combination of the topic plus your opinion. If you do that, that will get you your thesis statement. And once you have your thesis statement, then you need to come up with 3 supporting points. We stick to the rule of 3, not 2, not 4, but 3. So I think that resilience is the key to a life without suffering because 1, 2, 3. That is a complete thesis statement now, where it has the topic, the opinion, and the supporting evidence, which you will discuss in the body of your essay or your speech. So keep that in mind. And when you tell us your thesis statement at the end of your introduction, make sure it's a combination of the topic plus the opinion plus the 3 supporting points. If you do that, you can't go wrong, because that is the key to writing an excellent thesis statement. So, thank you for watching, and hopefully you are now crystal clear about how to write your thesis statement, and you're going to write some interesting, stimulating, exciting thesis statements for your next oral presentation. See you in the next video. Bye for now.